Imagine standing before a colossal set of gates, carved with ancient symbols that shimmer faintly in the sun. Behind them lies a temple older than recorded history, a place whispered about in legends, feared by locals, and protected by strict bans. You can gaze at its outer walls, admire the architecture from afar, but the interior, its chambers, relics, and secrets, remains forever out of reach. This is not a fantasy. Across the world there exist sacred temples so mysterious, so guarded, that no ordinary person will ever set foot inside. Temples are more than stone and mortar. They are bridges between humans and the divine. For thousands of years, civilizations have built these sacred spaces to honor gods, preserve cosmic order, or conceal secrets believed to be too powerful for common eyes. Some temples are open to worshippers and visitors alike, but others are hidden, protected, or outright forbidden. Whether sealed by religious decree, government restrictions, or even fear of curses, these temples hold mysteries we may never fully unlock. Our journey begins in India, home to some of the most sacred temples in the world. Perhaps none is more shrouded in intrigue than the Padmanabhaswamy Temple, located in the southern state of Kerala. From the outside, it is breathtaking, a towering gopuram, or gateway, adorned with intricate carvings of gods, guardians, and celestial beings. But what lies within its underground vaults is what truly captures the imagination. In 2011, a team of government officials and temple authorities opened several of its long-sealed chambers. Inside, they discovered treasures beyond imagination: gold coins, diamond-studded jewelry, ceremonial idols, and gem-encrusted thrones. Historians estimate the wealth at over $20 billion, making it one of the richest temples in the world. Yet among these vaults is one that remains firmly sealed: Vault B. Unlike the others, it has resisted every attempt to open it. Local legends warn that breaking into Vault B would unleash misfortune or even disaster. Guardians of the temple claim it is protected by serpent deities, and opening it without the proper rituals could bring great calamity. What lies within Vault B remains one of history's great mysteries. Some speculate it hides unimaginable treasure. Others suggest ancient knowledge, sacred relics, or even items meant never to be seen by mortal eyes. Whatever the truth, you and I will never step inside. The courts of India, along with temple authorities, have declared Vault B untouchable, and so it remains, a sealed chamber in one of the world's holiest temples, tantalizingly close yet forever forbidden. From the riches of Kerala, we journey to Japan, where another temple guards its secrets with equal ferocity. Nestled in the dense forests of Mie Prefecture lies the Ise Grand Shrine, the most sacred Shinto site in the country. To outsiders, it may appear simple: wooden structures built in harmony with nature, thatched roofs blending into the surrounding trees. But this temple represents the very heart of Shinto belief. Dedicated to Amaterasu, the sun goddess and mythical ancestor of Japan's imperial line, the Ise Shrine is rebuilt every 20 years as part of a ritual that has continued for over a millennium. This act of renewal symbolizes the Shinto belief in death, rebirth, and the eternal cycle of nature. While pilgrims can approach the outer gates and offer prayers, the inner sanctum is strictly off-limits. Only high-ranking priests and select members of the Japanese imperial family are ever allowed to enter. What lies within? At the core of the shrine is said to be the Yata no Kagami, a sacred mirror that is one of Japan's 3 imperial regalia. It is believed to embody the very spirit of Amaterasu herself, but you and I will never see it. No outsider has ever laid eyes on the relic, and none ever will. The sanctity of the shrine is absolute, and the punishment for breaking its boundary would not be worldly, it would be spiritual. For in the Shinto worldview, to trespass here would be to disrupt the balance between humans and the divine. From Asia, our journey continues westward to Mount Athos in Greece. Unlike the glittering treasures of Padmanabhaswamy or the hidden regalia of Ise, the forbidden nature of Mount Athos lies not in its secrets, but in its exclusivity. Known as the Holy Mountain, this peninsula is home to a collection of Eastern Orthodox monasteries that have been active for over 1,000 years. It is considered one of the most sacred sites in Christianity, but here's the restriction. Women are entirely forbidden from entering Mount Athos. The ban, known as the Avaton, has been in place since the Byzantine era. Even female animals, with rare exceptions, are prohibited. The monks believe that this rule preserves the spiritual purity of their monastic life, ensuring that their focus remains undivided. Even men cannot simply wander in. Special permits are required, and only a limited number of male pilgrims are granted access at any given time. What treasures and relics lie within the monasteries? Icons said to have miraculous powers, relics of saints, and libraries filled with ancient manuscripts. For scholars, the lure of Mount Athos is immense. Yet for half of humanity, the gates remain permanently closed. No matter how far women travel, they will never walk its paths, hear its chants, or glimpse its treasures. And so we see that sacred temples can be forbidden for many reasons. Some are sealed by superstition, like Vault B in Kerala. Others are protected by spiritual law, like the Ise Shrine. Still others impose restrictions of access, like Mount Athos. Each reveals a different way in which humanity has chosen to guard the divine, by hiding it, protecting it, or limiting who may approach it. As we move deeper into this journey, the list of forbidden temples grows stranger and more unsettling. Some are locked not because of treasure or relics, but because their very existence challenges what we believe about history. Others are protected not just by religion but by governments, who fear what might happen if their secrets were revealed. The truth is that sacred temples are not always meant to welcome us. Sometimes they are meant to remind us of our limits, that there are mysteries too sacred, too powerful, or too dangerous for us to touch. Leaving Mount Athos behind, our journey now takes us eastward to China, where one of the most extraordinary archaeological discoveries in history lies sealed beneath the earth. In 1974, farmers digging a well in Shanxi province stumbled upon fragments of clay. What they uncovered was the terracotta army, thousands of life-sized warriors, horses, and chariots crafted over 2,000 years ago to guard the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, China's first emperor. The army itself is astonishing, but the true mystery lies in the tomb that the soldiers guard. According to ancient texts, Qin Shi Huang's burial chamber is a subterranean palace, complete with rivers of flowing mercury and a ceiling painted with the constellations of the heavens. Archaeologists believe it may contain artifacts, treasures, and texts that could rewrite history. Yet despite its significance, the emperor's tomb has never been opened. Why? The reasons are both scientific and spiritual. Modern technology is not yet advanced enough to excavate the tomb without causing irreparable damage. The high levels of mercury detected in the soil suggest the ancient accounts may be true. Disturbing the site could be hazardous. At the same time, there is a deep cultural reverence for leaving the emperor's resting place undisturbed. For now, and perhaps forever, the most sacred chamber of Qin Shi Huang remains off limits. We can imagine what lies beneath, but we will never step inside. From China we move to France, where hidden beneath the earth lies another forbidden temple, not of stone, but of art. The Lascaux Caves, discovered in 1940, contain breathtaking Paleolithic paintings estimated to be over 17,000 years old. The walls are alive with images of bulls, horses, deer, and abstract symbols, painted with remarkable skill by early humans. For archaeologists, the caves are a window into the origins of human spirituality and art. But here is the tragedy. After their discovery, thousands of visitors flocked to the caves, and their very presence began to destroy them. The carbon dioxide from human breath, along with heat and humidity, caused mold and bacteria to grow, threatening the priceless artwork. In 1963, the caves were permanently closed to the public. Today, only a handful of scientists are ever allowed inside, under strictly controlled conditions. For you and me, the original Lascaux paintings are forever off limits. Instead, a replica has been built nearby for visitors. While impressive, it is not the same as standing before the ancient brushstrokes of our ancestors. The real caves remain locked away, sealed not by religion or politics, but by the need to preserve them for future generations. Sometimes the ban is not to protect us from the temple, but to protect the temple from us. Our path now leads to Egypt, home to some of the most mysterious temples on earth. At the heart of this land stands the Great Pyramid of Giza, an enduring symbol of human achievement. For centuries, explorers have searched its passageways, uncovering chambers, sarcophagi, and relics. Yet even here, mysteries remain. Beneath the pyramid, legends speak of hidden chambers and sealed vaults that have never been entered. In recent years, advanced scanning techniques have revealed anomalies, empty spaces within the pyramid that may conceal unknown rooms. Some researchers believe these could hold the true burial chamber of Khufu, or perhaps scrolls and artifacts that have never seen the light of day. But until those chambers are opened, their contents remain beyond reach. Egypt is also home to the enigmatic Sphinx, another monument shrouded in mystery. Beneath its massive paws, explorers have claimed to detect hollow cavities, possibly secret chambers. Some fringe theories even suggest that these chambers hold records of a lost civilization. But official excavations have never confirmed this, and the Egyptian authorities strictly regulate all exploration. For now, whatever lies beneath the Sphinx remains sealed away. Not all forbidden temples are ancient wonders of stone. Some are places that blend myth, danger, and law into an unbreakable barrier. Deep in the Indian Ocean lies North Sentinel Island, home to the Sentinelese, one of the last uncontacted tribes on Earth. The island itself is often called a forbidden temple, not because of structures, but because the land and people are sacred in their own way. Outsiders are banned from visiting to protect both the tribe and ourselves. The Sentinelese have made it clear that they want no contact. Arrows and spears greet any who dare approach. For their protection, the Indian government has declared the island off-limits. Here, the sacred is not a building but a culture, preserved by isolation. You and I will never set foot there, and that is exactly how it should be. These examples remind us that forbidden does not always mean hidden treasure or dark curses. Sometimes it is about respect, for history, for spirituality, for human dignity. But other times the forbidden is about control. Governments and religious institutions guard certain temples fiercely, not only to preserve them, but to maintain power. To open their doors would mean revealing secrets that could challenge faith, rewrite history, or unsettle society. Think of the Vatican Secret Archives, an immense collection of documents hidden beneath Vatican City. Among them may lie letters, treaties, and records that could shed light on the deepest mysteries of religion and history. While not a temple in the traditional sense, the archives function as one, a sacred vault where only the chosen few may enter. For the rest of the world, the doors remain closed. As our journey continues, we will step deeper into this twilight world of temples sealed by time, fear, and reverence. From snake-infested islands to hidden Himalayan sanctuaries, from forbidden caves to vaults sealed with curses, humanity has drawn lines that few dare to cross. And in those places, the greatest mysteries of our world remain untouched. From the sands of Egypt, our journey now carries us into the high peaks of the Himalayas, where one of the most sacred and mysterious places on Earth lies untouched by human feet. This is Mount Kailash, a mountain that rises nearly 22,000 feet above sea level, revered by multiple religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and the ancient Bon faith of Tibet. In Hindu belief, Mount Kailash is considered the very home of Lord Shiva, the destroyer and regenerator of the universe. Buddhists believe it to be the center of the world, the axis mundi around which all existence revolves. Jain texts describe it as the place where the first of their prophets attained liberation. In every tradition, Mount Kailash is not just a mountain. It is a living temple, the most sacred of all. But here is the incredible part. No one has ever climbed Mount Kailash, and no one ever will. The mountain is forbidden to climbers, not by walls or soldiers, but by tradition itself. Local authorities have honored this ban for centuries, declaring that setting foot on its peak would be a violation of the sacred. Unlike Everest, which draws thousands of climbers each year, Mount Kailash stands pristine, its summit untouched. Pilgrims may circle its base in a ritual known as the Kora, believed to cleanse the soul of all sins, but to climb is to trespass against the divine. There are stories of those who attempted in the past, explorers who mysteriously turned back or who faced great misfortune afterward. Whether by spiritual power or natural challenge, the mountain protects itself. This temple of stone will remain forever closed to mankind. Now let us journey from the icy Himalayas to the humid and deadly coast of Brazil, where another forbidden temple takes the form of an island. Known as Ilha da Queimada Grande, but more famously called Snake Island. This place is so dangerous that the Brazilian government has declared it completely off-limits to visitors. The reason? It is home to one of the deadliest snakes in the world, the golden lancehead viper. Its venom is so powerful, it can melt human flesh and kill in minutes. Thousands of these vipers slither across the island, with estimates suggesting one snake for every square meter. For this reason, no permanent human settlement has ever existed there, and any who venture too close risk never returning. The island itself is eerie, like a cursed temple of nature. Some legends say that pirates once hid treasure there, protecting it with the vipers. Others believe the snakes are guardians, ensuring that no human will ever desecrate the island. Whether by myth or science, the result is the same. Snake Island is one of the most forbidden places on Earth, a natural temple that humans are permanently banned from entering. Leaving the deadly island behind, we turn our attention to the icy waters of Iceland, where a young island born of volcanic fire is also forbidden to most humans. This is Surtsey Island, which rose dramatically from the ocean in 1963 after a powerful eruption. Scientists quickly realized this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to observe how life colonizes a brand new land. For this reason, the Icelandic government declared Surtsey off-limits to the public. Only a handful of scientists, under strict supervision, are allowed to visit. They study how plants, insects, and birds establish themselves in an untouched environment. Any outsider could bring seeds, bacteria, or pollution that would disrupt the experiment. Surtsey has become a kind of sacred natural laboratory, a temple not built by humans, but by the earth itself. To preserve its purity, it must remain forbidden. You and I will never walk its volcanic soil, for to do so would risk contaminating a miracle of nature. But not all forbidden temples are natural. Some are ancient ruins that governments actively conceal. In North Korea, for example, there exists a mysterious and highly secretive organization known as Room 39. While not a temple in the traditional sense, its secrecy has given it an almost mythical aura. It is believed to be a hidden complex within Pyongyang, controlling the regime's finances and illicit operations. But what makes it relevant to our journey is the way secrecy transforms a location into a kind of forbidden shrine. No one outside the highest levels of North Korean leadership will ever see inside Room 39. For the rest of the world, it remains sealed, its contents a matter of speculation and rumor. It may not hold relics or deities, but it does hold power. And in that sense, it is a temple of control, carefully guarded from the eyes of the world. From the secrecy of North Korea, we shift back to the world of the ancient. Hidden deep within the jungles of Cambodia lies Angkor Wat, the largest religious monument in the world. While most of Angkor is open to tourists, there are certain inner sanctuaries locked and sealed that outsiders are not permitted to enter. These areas are believed to house relics, sacred images, and even chambers never fully explored. For archaeologists, the forbidden sanctuaries raise tantalizing questions. What ancient knowledge lies within? What treasures have been hidden for centuries? Yet to this day, those doors remain closed. Some whispers even claim that beneath Angkor Wat's foundations lie chambers and tunnels still undiscovered, a subterranean temple that will never be revealed to the public. Whether true or legend, the sense of mystery only deepens the aura of the forbidden. And so we see across continents and cultures that the concept of the sacred forbidden temple takes many forms. Some, like Mount Kailash, are untouched out of reverence. Others, like Snake Island, are sealed off by deadly danger. Still others, like Surtsey or the Lascaux Caves, are protected for the sake of science and preservation. And then there are those, like Room 39 or the sealed chambers of Angkor Wat, that remain locked away because knowledge itself can be power. Each site tells us something profound about humanity. We are drawn to mystery, yet we respect or fear the barriers placed before us. Whether by gods, governments, or nature itself, these places remain beyond reach, reminding us that not everything is meant to be explored. Our journey into the world of forbidden temples now brings us to a place where history and secrecy are entwined within the heart of Christianity itself, the Vatican Secret Archives. Tucked away in Vatican City, These archives hold centuries of documents, manuscripts, and records that trace the history of the Catholic Church. But what makes them so forbidden? While scholars are allowed limited access to carefully chosen documents, the vast majority of the collection remains closed to outsiders. It is said the archives contain evidence of political plots, hidden texts that could challenge established beliefs, and records of interactions with kings, empires, and even heretical sects. Some speculate that the archives may contain documents about Jesus that never made it into the Bible, or proof of early contact with civilizations now lost to time. Others whisper about coded letters from popes, detailed accounts of witch trials, or knowledge of powerful relics. Whether fact or legend, the Vatican ensures these materials remain tightly controlled. For most of humanity, the archives may as well be a temple, sealed, forbidden, and charged with the aura of sacred secrecy. Leaving Rome behind, we journey to India, a land of countless temples, each with its own story. But one temple in particular, the Padmanabhaswamy Temple in Kerala, has stunned the world with its mystery and wealth. Known as the richest temple in the world, it contains hidden vaults that hold unimaginable treasures, gold, jewels, and artifacts worth billions. Several vaults have been opened under the supervision of the Supreme Court of India, revealing vast riches. But one chamber known as Vault B remains sealed. It is said to be protected by a mystical curse, and local legends claim that opening it could bring disaster to the world. The doors to Vault B are adorned with carvings of serpents, and priests insist it can only be opened through a sacred ritual known as a mantra, performed by a holy man of true purity. Attempts to breach it mechanically, they say, would invoke divine wrath. So even in our modern age of science and technology, this temple stands as a reminder of the ancient power of belief. The riches inside may never be revealed, for to enter is to defy the gods themselves. And so Padmanabhaswamy Temple remains one of the most forbidden places on earth, where faith and fear keep humanity at bay. From India, we cross into China, where another sealed mystery lies buried beneath the earth. Near the city of Xi'an, the vast mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, stretches across the land. Famously, the site is guarded by the Terracotta Army, thousands of life-sized clay soldiers buried to protect their emperor in the afterlife. But here is the astonishing part. The central tomb chamber of Qin Shi Huang has never been opened. Ancient texts describe rivers of mercury flowing through the chamber, representing the waterways of China. Modern scans have confirmed high levels of mercury in the soil, suggesting the texts may be true. For archaeologists, the temptation to open the tomb is immense. What artifacts, knowledge, and treasures lie within? Yet to disturb it would risk damaging its contents, and possibly exposing toxic mercury to the world. For this reason, the Chinese government has declared the tomb off-limits. The result is one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of archaeology. The tomb stands like a forbidden temple beneath the earth, sealed for over 2,000 years. We know it exists, we know it holds wonders, but we may never see them. The emperor's secrets remain buried, perhaps forever. Next, let us journey to Japan, where one of the most sacred shrines in the world is also one of the most forbidden. The Ise Grand Shrine, dedicated to the sun goddess Amaterasu, is the holiest site in Shinto tradition. Unlike most temples, which are open to pilgrims, the Ise Shrine is off-limits to all but the high priest or priestess, traditionally a member of the Japanese imperial family. From the outside, visitors can glimpse the outer structures, rebuilt every 20 years as part of a sacred ritual symbolizing renewal. But the inner sanctum, where the sacred mirror of Amaterasu is said to be kept, remains forever hidden. No outsider, not even the Japanese public, may step inside. The shrine's restriction is not enforced by soldiers or fences, but by reverence. It is understood that some places are too sacred for human curiosity. The Ise Shrine reminds us that not every door is meant to be opened, and that sometimes mystery itself is the highest form of reverence. From Japan, we now travel to Greece, where ancient myths still whisper through the stones. High on Mount Athos, a peninsula known as the Holy Mountain, lies a collection of 20 monasteries. What makes it unique is that women, and even female animals, are forbidden from entering. This restriction, called the Avaton, has been in place for over 1,000 years. The monks believe that Mount Athos is the earthly garden of the Virgin Mary, and that her presence alone is sufficient. To maintain spiritual purity, women are barred from the mountain entirely. Even powerful rulers and conquerors who once attempted to breach this tradition ultimately failed to overturn it. To this day, only male pilgrims and scholars may visit, and even then in very limited numbers. The monasteries of Mount Athos are living temples, where faith dictates the boundaries of entry. And while many might question the rule, the monks insist it is the foundation of their spiritual way of life. As we reflect on these forbidden places, a pattern emerges. Some temples are closed to preserve sacred rituals, like the Ise Shrine or Mount Athos. Others are sealed to protect immense treasures like Padmanabhaswamy. Still others remain hidden out of fear of curses, poisons, or the unknown, as with Qin Shi Huang's tomb. What unites them is a sense of awe. They remind us that human knowledge, for all its progress, still meets walls it cannot cross. They force us to consider that some mysteries are not meant to be solved, at least not yet, and perhaps in their secrecy, they serve a higher purpose, to preserve the sacred, to protect the dangerous, or simply to remind us that humility is still needed in the face of the unknown. As we near the end of our journey through the world's most forbidden temples, we must step into the shadow of one of the greatest enigmas of human civilization, the Great Sphinx of Giza. This colossal monument, carved from limestone, has stood for thousands of years watching over the pyramids. Scholars have debated its origins for centuries, but what truly intrigues researchers are the rumors of chambers and tunnels hidden beneath its paws. Ancient texts and modern scans suggest the existence of sealed rooms beneath the Sphinx, possibly containing records of a lost civilization or treasures that predate Egyptian history itself. Yet the Egyptian authorities have kept these supposed chambers closed, denying archaeologists full access. Why? Some say it is to protect national treasures. Others claim it is to preserve stability in historical narratives. Still others believe there is something within so earth-shattering it cannot yet be revealed. Thus, the Sphinx stands not just as a monument, but as a forbidden temple of knowledge, its secrets locked away beneath stone. And as tourists gaze upon its weathered face, they remain unaware of the mysteries lying hidden beneath their feet. From Egypt, we travel to the lush Amazon rainforest where entire civilizations once thrived, only to vanish under the weight of time and jungle growth. Among the dense foliage are temples belonging to uncontacted tribes, people who still live isolated from the modern world. Governments and international organizations have declared these regions strictly off-limits. The reason is twofold. First, to protect the tribes from exposure to diseases they have no immunity against, and second, to protect the tribes themselves from exploitation. For outsiders, it means the temples, rituals, and traditions of these people will remain hidden, inaccessible. These are sacred spaces not for us, but for them, preserved in secrecy. In a sense, these forbidden temples remind us that not all mysteries belong to the past. Some are alive in the present. Next, let us step into the world of the Lascaux cave paintings in France. While not temples in the traditional sense, these ancient caves contain artwork dating back more than 17,000 years. The paintings depict animals, rituals, and symbols of early humanity. For decades, visitors flocked to see them, but the very act of human presence began to damage the art. Mold and bacteria introduced by breath and touch threatened to erase these irreplaceable images. In response, the caves were sealed. Today, only a handful of scientists are allowed inside under tightly controlled conditions. For the rest of the world, replicas have been created to give us a glimpse of what lies within. The Lascaux caves have become a forbidden temple of art, a reminder that sometimes humanity's curiosity can destroy what it seeks to preserve. From France, we cross to the Pacific Ocean, where the haunting ruins of Nan Madol rise from the waters off Micronesia. Built on a series of artificial islets made of massive basalt stones, Nan Madol is often called the Venice of the Pacific. Its origins remain shrouded in mystery. Who built it, and how did they transport stones weighing many tons across the water? No one truly knows. Local legends speak of sorcery, giants, and lost civilizations. What is certain is that Nan Madol is largely uninhabited today. The ruins, which may have served as temples or palaces, are avoided by locals who believe the site is cursed. While tourists may visit the outer areas, much of Nan Madol remains unexplored, its central structures forbidden not by law, but by fear. The ocean itself seems to guard the ruins, keeping their secrets locked away beneath salt and tide. And then, there is Pumapunku in Bolivia, part of the ancient Tiwanaku complex. Here, immense stone blocks lie scattered, some weighing over 100 tons, cut with precision so fine that even modern tools would struggle to replicate them. Archaeologists remain baffled at how such a site was built without advanced technology. Some theorists suggest lost knowledge of engineering, while others whisper of extraterrestrial influence. Whatever the truth, Pumapunku remains partially restricted, with many areas closed off to protect the fragile ruins. Visitors can marvel from a distance, but the heart of its mystery, the methods of its construction and its true purpose, remain beyond reach. Like other forbidden temples, it represents the limits of our understanding and the humbling realization that we still do not know the full story of our past. Finally, we return to India, where countless temples stand as living monuments of faith. Among them, the Jagannath Temple in Puri is both famous and forbidden. While millions worship the deity Jagannath from outside its walls, non-Hindus are not permitted entry into the temple itself. This rule, centuries old, has often been questioned but remains strictly enforced. The temple's sanctum, containing the idol of Jagannath, is considered so holy that only those who share the faith may cross its threshold. Outsiders, no matter their intentions, can only glimpse its towers from afar. In this case, the temple's forbidden status is not about secrets or treasures, but about identity and tradition. It is a reminder that sacredness is not always universal. It is deeply personal, defined by belief. When we piece together all these stories, the sealed chambers of the Sphinx, the uncontacted temples of the Amazon, the cursed ruins of Nan Madol, the impenetrable engineering of Pumapunku, the exclusive sanctums of India, and many more, we begin to see a profound truth. Humanity has always been drawn to the sacred, the mysterious, and the forbidden, yet at every turn, barriers remain. These temples, whether guarded by faith, nature, governments, or time itself, teach us humility. They remind us that not everything is ours to know. Not every door is meant to be opened. Sometimes the act of not entering preserves the mystery, and in that mystery lies their power. So why will you never be allowed inside these sacred temples? Because they were never meant for us. They belong to the gods, to history, to nature, or to cultures that guard them fiercely. And perhaps in being denied entry, we are given something even more precious, the chance to wonder, to imagine, and to dream about what lies beyond the forbidden gates.